Hello, Kulwant. Once again, it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you and, of course, interview you for your second super successful book, The ABC of Being Fulfilled. How are you, by the way?
I'm good and I'm feeling so honored that you want to interview me again. Thank you
Oh,
so
my
much.
pleasure.
Love you. Yeah.
All right, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Without much ado, let me introduce Kulwant Rehal, who is a vibrant, energetic, enterprising, and above all, the most optimistic person I've ever known. And therefore, wherever she goes, she spreads nothing but positive vibes, right? Um, Born in Mumbai, she has come a long way through a list of huge portfolios and she's been an author, an entrepreneur, coordinator, and of course, a leader. She's worked in several premier institutions covering a range of subjects like English, social science, economics, business studies, and accounts. And of course, she has been involved in training and staging a lot of debates, drama, elocution, and quiz, and has been the chief editor of a magazine called Footsteps. And if I'm not mistaken, she has also been very much involved in writing for newspapers and magazines and has also worked for the All India Radio. Have I gone wrong somewhere?
Best Karoji.
Yeah, actually, I could go on and on and on. Anyway, but after the super success of her very first book, The ABC of Being Loved, this is her second book, The ABC of Being Fulfilled. And if you haven't got your copy, run to Amazon and get your copy now. Yes. And let me tell you, all you readers and all you lovely people out there, that ABC of Being Fulfilled is a book, trust me, is a book that will leave you actually fulfilled by the time you reach the last page, right? So go get your copy and no delay, right? Now, going back to the book, before I start talking, because when I start talking, I don't know, I just continue. So I would like you to tell me a little about the book.
Nandita, it all started due to you. Remember the first interview about the ABC of being loved? And
Yes.
you said, now what? I said, okay, then if I have to decide, why not now? And I thought of writing the next book, ABC of Being Fulfilled, because I felt successful was a smaller word as compared to fulfilled. And that started the journey. We decided on a dead date, due date even then. Of course,
Yes,
it was
yes, I
delayed due to
remember.
Corona and
Yes.
other things. It took time, but no matter what, it did come in due time. So this is the ABC of being fulfilled. Yeah.
Yes, and me too. I have a copy too, and I've read it, enjoyed it, and of course, I was fulfilled. Right. So, the book, like you've said, ABC. So every chapter, like the previous book, starts with the alphabets in sequence. Like you have Aspire for A and Being for B, Community for C, Delegation for D, and so on and so forth. So tell us a little about, these words. How did they come to you?
I was just wondering what I should write, and I mean, this is out of experience. And everywhere I felt what stopped me, for example, delegation. When you mentioned delegation, I realized there were some people who were, they used to get so nervous, so panicky when anything happened, and they would like to control everything. I remember some places they did not want to give me the tag of a principal also. The owners felt so threatened that the principal will take away the command. So that is when I felt, of course, at that time I did not know I would be writing a book. And I really don't know how things happen. But when I start writing, I don't know what flows through my head, God's grace, and I cut it down. I just didn't want, I wanted the titles to be different and out of my experience. So
That's
then,
exactly my point. That's exactly my point because in the last book also you had A to Z and there were words. again you have A to Z. I mean, that's amazing, because again you have a set of words which covers A to Z. So I think that must have been a little difficult for you, maybe, or did it come naturally?
No, that was like, it's like steps. So that was A for acceptance. You need to accept yourself. But this is about reaching a higher pinnacle of life,
Correct, correct.
fulfilled. So it was aspire. That is
Yes,
zenith. So everything
yes,
is
yes.
taking you higher, and there's no
Correct,
denying about it that it is going to help you to be uh,
correct,
at the top of wherever you are.
correct, correct, correct.
That was the idea.
Yes, yes, yes. So, after being, like you said, ABC of being loved, at that point, when you wanted to begin the next book, did you really think of the name, or did it come later? And how did love change to being fulfilled? I mean, that space.
See, this is a progression. Being loved is about the person, about yourself. See, at that time, I had not thought I'd be writing a book also. I had just started as a hobby, A to Z.
Yes, yes.
Just, I love writing and I started. But then when I thought about it, I thought, why not? I can compile it into a book. And it is all about working on yourself, all the qualities which you have to create. I think the next level is ABC of being fulfilled, that you feel that you are your best. You are your best, the best you can be, the way God wanted you to be. We, live a life lesser than being fulfilled. So
Correct,
that is
correct.
what my intention was, to give that feeling, and what holds you back, those, cues to the reader, so that they can get away from those shackles. Yeah.
So, are you going to have a third ABC something, maybe?
Can you believe it, Nandita? I was wondering now what. One is loved and then fulfilled. So after
Sure, there's something
fulfillment,
going to
what
come up.
else? No, it has already come up. Can you believe it?
Oh, great, great,
I
great,
was
great,
wondering after
great.
fulfillment what? But then I knew I had to write 3 books. I don't know why. I would at least three.
Yes, like a trilogy or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, but then they're not related. And as I said, my book, you can start from any chapter. It's still the same thing.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. There's this chapter called G, growth.
Growth.
And while I was reading it, of course, almost every chapter I could relate. But growth is something which, I thought of that. Yes, if you're not, like you said, if you're not moving with time, you're stagnating. That's what you mentioned, right? And in certain areas, especially technology, I really find I'm like lagging behind, or I'm stagnating, because at every step, it's a learning process. At every step. And of course, you also talked about the growth of the midriff and
That's
what.
something it happens
That was
easily.
so enjoyable. That was so enjoyable. And yes, as per the sentence, I think it is the easiest way to grow. But otherwise, that was really nice. That was really, really nice. And readers, I hope you're watching this, because you have to really get that book and enjoy yourself. So, but apart from that, growth at every juncture, whether it's relationship or work, as you mentioned, your workplace or at home, every place, I think you need to grow. That is so very, very apt for every individual, and not only for elders. It's that there are so many chapters that covers various range of ages. So that is one unique thing about this book.
Yes.
Personally, I find very, very extraordinary that it's not about only adults. Even children need to know this.
For example, this chapter of parenting.
Yes, yes,
Parenting, again, I've personalized it because I've become a grandmother. I've taken up parenting. But
yes,
then
and congratulations on that too.
yeah, thank you. And also about the Shah Rukh Khan incident, what happened, that also I've taken up as parenting. And I don't know how I wrote it, but I was very amazed that it was written that what do we give our children? Sometimes
Yes,
what we did not get, do we give them what they need, or we give them what we were deprived of?
mm,
So these are
absolutely.
questions we need to ask ourselves. Now, again, if you think of parenting, it's not only for the parents. Maybe it is even for the children, because you see, children will also realize, okay, what is it, and what are the parents
Yes.
wanting to give me, and what is it, and it is very fulfilling. I don't know why nowadays they talk about the double income, no kid syndrome, DINK syndrome, and which is, I don't know, they'll miss out so much. Parenting is so, so important. Somewhere there will be a void. That's what I feel. Children,
Very
parents
true.
want to go
And
without.
I find
That's
this
why I was
void,
writing here.
and this I find this the void being created, especially in today's generation.
That's
There
why.
is there is a gap, and that gaps, it seems such a difficult gap that very difficult to probably fulfill or bridge or whatever you may say it.
Mm.
I think that is one chapter where at least if somebody reads it, even as a parent, will certainly make him or her think twice.
So
That's really,
that
really.
was the idea. I'm just getting real with things, and it's not necessary the words which should be. I've not taken up those words, but something which will be close to the heart, which is close to my heart, and what is for me is for everybody because we all
Of
part of the
course,
same
of course, of course. And
family.
one person's experience can always be a learning
Right.
experience for another, right?
Even for mindful, I said we should not concentrate too much. We should have memories to enjoy, right? It's so boring. So I've had a lot of fun in this book. Humor is the big spice I have.
Oh, humor, I'll talk about that later. That is such a, I mean, I'll talk about it later. So if I were to ask you to give me a message for the entire book, what would that be, especially to the readers?
It is a book. See, nowadays, uh, the thing I get generally is that, oh, congratulations, you've written such a nice book. Congratulations. I don't read though. So they don't
Hmm.
even read. So, especially for those who don't read, these are just small chapters, one page, 1.5 page.
Yes,
So
yes,
little. It
absolutely.
is not, it won't be bound, it won't take very long, and you get so much out of it. And it is so real, it is so simple stuff. You don't have to use your brains much. It's not heavy stuff, also. And
No,
it
and I
touches
think
upon
they
your
could.
heart. It's not a
Yes,
book
and I think
for
there
that.
must be a start somewhere. There must be a start
Right.
somewhere. I mean, I don't read couldn't be an escapist theory.
No, but they're
Like,
missing out so much on life. I mean,
yes,
just because they don't read. So
correct, correct.
somewhere they could start, and that was my intention. And the third book I'm writing is even smaller chapters, and I want to do more illustrations rather than poems. I'll tell you
Okay,
that
okay.
later.
Yeah, this book also has a lot of poems, right?
I one poem for every chapter, and the poems are by my daughter. Earlier, I had
Okay.
kept her on acknowledgements. This time, I've made her my co-author.
Oh, very good, very good. Yes, she is your co-author. Yes, and that is why I think a picture is there at the back of the book as well.
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
she's
So
here.
that's a very lovely idea, also. Yes, yes.
See, I said if we don't promote ourselves, who else will? That's what I feel, This is me here,
And
and
yes, yes.
but that's
Yeah,
why not? I want to have
of
fun
course.
in life.
No,
I
no, no,
want to
not
live
at,
a
yeah.
fulfilled
I
life.
mean, of course, of course. I mean, see, if you are, I remember somebody had told me in one of a workshop that I was attending. Somebody would told me that because I asked her, and how did this begin? So she told me that when I thought what I did was successful, I wanted to share it with others.
Okay.
And the workshop is not basically only a business thing, but I want to share that look, there are easier ways of doing things in life. So,
Absolutely.
similarly, you were doing the same. You were writing things which actually relate to each and every individual. It's a common man story. So, I think everybody should read
I
that.
think you put that very well. A common man's story. A common household person who is nothing, not very erudite to have read, and not too lofty ideas, simple. It reaches out to everybody. That's the
It
type of book.
reaches out to everybody. That is the book. That is the book. So, how, I mean, did you have a strategy like every day to be sitting in a particular span of time? And how long did it take you to actually finish the whole book?
The strategy is every day you sit down and write a chapter. That is how it is. So
Okay, one
even
full chapter a day.
one full chapter is not more than 1,000 words.
Okay, all
So
right.
that is how it goes. And of course, when the thoughts keep coming, and sometimes even if the
Yes.
thoughts are not coming, you have to write. Next day you might delete it, but normally ho jata hai. But
Mm.
but then the point is, you know what you're going to write. See, first I wrote the titles, so you know what you're going to write. For example, uh, today morning I wrote on laziness, and tomorrow I have to write on temper. I'm writing up my third book is going to be of things to be left behind,
Oh,
ABC.
oh,
So now I got my
okay.
negative things to be left behind. I'd gone through a mess. brigade mess in Alvar, and there were 45 books in the room. So I was just going through them, and then I saw this book, and I said, now this will give me a title for my next book, ABC of Things to Be Left Behind. So I
Okay.
get again the negative qualities or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my
But that in itself is a positive approach, because you're leaving the negative behind.
things to be left
Yes,
behind.
that's a positive
Tomorrow
approach,
I write
actually.
on temper, for example, temper. So the entire day I'm thinking. So what
Yes.
will I write in temper? So that's how it is. So tomorrow morning when I get up at 4:45 and sit down at my table at 5, by 6 I have to close because the rest of the day will begin.
Mm-hmm.
First, I
Correct.
thought I was getting a feeling things were running out of time. I was not getting time. Then I realized enough is enough. So I made a timetable. I realized if you've not made a timetable, you're planning to fail. I realized
Mm-hmm.
that. And then I am able to do everything now. All right.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
So if
And
everything goes well,
actually, once the flow starts, then ideas keep flowing.
yes.
That
But then we do not have to wait as writers, I guess. I'm a very small writer, but as a writer, we cannot wait for ideas to come. We have to write no matter what. And
true.
then better ideas will keep coming.
True. True. True.
In my yesterday, I wrote on things to be left behind was perfection.
Yes.
Keep thinking of perfection, you will not proceed. So that was one quality. So just write, and then later we can edit and add on more things.
So in relation to what you're saying right now, so what are the ups and downs that you might have faced while writing this book?
My ups and downs basically were not regarding writing. It took a lot of time to, publish it. Again, my problem is with launching it. Coming to that, I mean, I'm reducing the price after this interview. I'm reducing it to 49 rupees for the e-Kindle version.
Kindle,
So that
yes.
will be a gift to all those who read or see the
All you
interview.
lovely people out there, please listen to this and go get your copy.
To
Go
the
get your
for the Kindle
what an
version.
opportunity. Don't miss it.
And even that, I'm changing the price to 249, so they won't have to pay 270. They will get it at 249. The 249, so you
Great.
don't pay
Are
270.
you all listening? Go.
So you won't have to pay the delivery charges. So doing that
Yeah.
research and everything, yeah, yeah.
So, what would be, I mean, apart from what readers will get, that is a different story. What was your takeaway from your book itself?
मैं कर सकती हूँ.
Aha.
मेरे से हो गया.
Correct.
My
Correct.
self-worth, I mean, my self-worth went up like anything. I feel so much more satisfied. I mean,
True.
no matter whether I live tomorrow or not, but the books are there on Amazon. It's such a beautiful feeling, yeah, that
True.
something you're leaving behind, a legacy you're leaving behind. I know
Right.
not
And
by
let me tell you, you actually have inspired me, because again, as I said before also, I never thought that I would write, because I always had this hitch that maybe my language is not good enough, because when you look at books, like heavy books and things like that, it's so like ornamental or so very flowery and all that, and I said, no, I can't do this. But then when you spoke about, especially in ABC of Being Loved, when I read it, I said, hey, I think I can. And
this is what the reader can get.
yeah, and the best part is that simplicity has its own attractions. And that's why the review, I don't know if you've noticed it, the review for this ABC of Being Fulfilled, I have written in the review, simple things learned simply. That's the thing I've given there. Right. So the thing is that simplicity appeals. And that is what I learned from you as well. And I kind of, okay, chalo, hame bhi karna hai types, and I got into writing.
Yes,
So,
that is another thing that the readers will get. They will also be inspired to do things. कुलवंत में कर सकती है तो हम भी कर सकते हैं.
No, come on, that's too much.
That's how it will be. That's how it is.
I remember reading this chapter on humor, and the two incidents you've given us, so hilarious, And really, really, on that spur of the moment to get that, that is a quality. When you talked about you wearing two types of shoes and then going and you were in a gathering and then your husband points out that you're wearing two different shoes and so you go and run and change it. And then, that how you so beautifully got over that embarrassment, by saying that, chalo, old people, you do make mistakes. I mean, that's awesome.
Had the egg in his hand and the watch in the water. And then
Yes.
बड़े-बड़े देश में छोटी-छोटी गलतियां हो जाती हैं. It's okay.
Exactly so. Exactly so. No, see, everybody does. That's a quality that people should learn. Because, everybody can't do it, especially when you're awkward and embarrassed. The only thing that comes to you is silence or run away, escape.
That is one responsibility when you are the head of a place. That time also I was a CEO's wife. As at that level, if you are embarrassed and you keep quiet, you spoil the entire mood of everybody.
Correct.
As a principal, I cannot be embarrassed. It will be an embarrassment to all the teachers. So I have to make it easy. And by being that, you become a good role model for others also. So that responsibility is also on your shoulders. You have no choice but to be very magnanimous at your
No, the thing is, see, you can say that easily because you have that quality.
Others
but to think at that spur of the moment of such things, it doesn't come to everybody. And that is a big lesson in life. That is a big lesson because humor is something, because there are a lot, rich humor is something which you don't find in every third person.
But Nandita, at times, just because of this humor, I've been so embarrassed at times and I have to buy it. Why did I have to say this? Why did I have to say it? So that also happens. It's not that every time.
But that's okay. That's spontaneity. So I think that's fine.
At times, it's better to be quiet. Not that you regret so much. ये भी होता है, बहुत होता है.
So, can you tell us about delegation? Like, what made you think about delegation and move forward with whatever you have said about delegation?
Just what I wrote over there again. This was the commander of one of the brigades, when he said that I don't have any work to do. I just play golf the entire day. So it's not that he played golf. He said that is what I got from what he said, that he had delegated his work. So everybody was working with passion. In fact, when I was asked to conduct, a seminar in our school, that time I was activity in charge in Albert Public School. So, and the principal had got sick. He was not coming. So he asked me, and I asked him, sir, how do you want me to report, SOS or daily? He says SOS. I said, thank you so much. SOS, if I need something, I'll call you. Know that ye ho raha, ye karu, kya karu. No, I don't want that. So he said SOS. I said, thank you so much. So that is delegation. Then one feels part of the place. Otherwise, you can't take decisions when you think, ma'am ko kya chahiye, sir ko kya chahiye, wo karna hai, then you can't use it. That is, Nandita, the biggest lacuna of our entire education system, I feel. I'm talking the education system as you're a teacher and I'm a teacher. I'm just talking. We want our teachers to raise intelligent children, but we want them to report everything to us. We give them FAQs also, the parents. Yes. If we don't think they're intelligent enough, how can they raise intelligent children?
Correct.
We have to give them the
not only intelligent, but self-dependent also.
Absolutely.
You have the mind to, quickly think and act.
That will happen when you give them respect.
Yes.
When you give them respect and give them the self-worth, then everything will fall in place.
Correct. And you give them
and wish us and all those things all the time, and then I don't know. That's what.
Yeah, and you also give them the space. That I've given you this responsibility. Now it is up to you how you do it. That space should be there so that they also can think.
Even the conducting of the class, it's not that ye karna. Let her do it. Let her use her imagination. Let her do it.
True. Very true. Very true.
That is where I realized my delegation. From there only I picked up my lessons.
Okay.
To give space. I wanted space as a teacher, and I gave space to my teachers. And I think still they say, I miss you. When they say a message comes to me, we miss you, ma'am. I know they mean it. I really know they mean it, because at places they normally say we just say to end, but I know all of them mean it. And now this
And
is a
that's a
very big
reward.
compliment to me that they
No,
still
and that's
mean
a
it.
reward actually. That's a reward.
That's the only reward I've earned, I think,
Yes, yes, yes.
other than
And
the love.
I'd like to ask you about one more chapter, and that is knowledge and know-how. So, how did this, knowledge and then again know-how. So, how did you put it together? And
Something.
why did you?
Why did I do that? See, knowledge is somewhere we take is too academic at times. And know-how is the way of getting things, like we don't look much at the diplomas also. You see, we want the degree.
Right, right.
And the diploma children know much better than the degree because they've been working with their hands.
Correct.
Then I realized that once there was this, in these WhatsApp messages, give a lot of gyan. So Motawala also, I believe, he had so much of money. He had to wear, but the only thing is he had to wear dirty clothes and all, whatever, because he was selling samosas. But they made so much of money. The juice centers, the samosa walas, they meant
Of
that
course.
Karaj, I said in Sarojini Nagar, they meant so
True.
much of money. And how they know what they know. And they, profit out of that. They sell that. That is my
Mhm.
know-how. I did not take up know-how in the sense of a lot of IT and augmented reality and virtual reality and all these things. Not
Mhm.
that detail, but simple things also. If you can make good coffee or good ice cream, sell it. No, you want to sell,
Exactly.
sell. One dish at
Exactly.
home, fine. There'll be other
Mhm.
takers every day. One type of biscuit you do.
Yes, in fact, you just when you said samosa walas and all, there is one golgappa wala over here, and you won't believe it. Right from I think around 4:35, he's unable to fulfill. There's such a crowd. It's such a crowd. It's almost like a beehive over there, and the amount he sells. The obviously, I'm sure, year after year doing this, he must have also minted money.
Must be. You must see the way they have money.
Hands-on experiences are very, very important. That's
Very.
very
See, it is. Nandita, see, hands-on experience is one thing. What I've talked here is you have to encash it. Many of us know so many things, but we've not taken the advantage of it and gone ahead and done it. We need to do
true.
it. Only then you'll be fulfilled. That is my point here.
Exactly. And this is why I took up this particular chapter, because I wanted everybody to know that it's not about degrees, it's not about, very many qualifications. It's about what you actually produce in life. So that lesson is also very, very important. And I think, as I said before, the uniqueness of this book, if I may say so, is the fact that it can reach out to any age. Like even if a child of 16 is reading it, or a man of 30 is reading it, it is going to be fulfilling for both. So that is the uniqueness of this book. So I'm sure you're not going to give us away about your third book right now, because
Now, I was very worried about the topic I'd taken up, sexuality. I did not know how it will be taken up, by should I be writing? That was the first time I was going to write something like this. But then how can I write about fulfillment without touching on sexuality?
correct.
That's
And
one
now there is
important
it's come
parameter.
down to schools also.
Yes, yes. But then, for me to write it, it was like, should I do it? Should I not? What will my husband think?
Yeah, yes,
And then I said, no, but it will be incomplete if I do not write. How I cannot ignore and be,
correct.
just be quiet on that. So I took up
No,
that.
no, no. Absolutely, because that is one area where,
Which is very
because, yeah,
yeah, one area which is very vital. All of us. I mean, that is what
not
we.
only vital, no, it's because of a mental block or a very hush hush kind of a thing. People
Yes.
people don't want to open and discuss, because through discussions you get to also, it's like eye opener for so many who
Right.
probably don't know.
Right.
So ignorance is not always bliss. Right. And in this world, you can't afford to be ignorant. You can't afford to be ignorant in today's world. So that was one very important chapter, I think. So your next book is also going to be another ABC, and I'm looking forward to talk to you once again.
Hmm.
And I hope it's going to come out soon. Have you spanned yourself that it's going to be out by such and such time, something?
Let's see. Maybe 1st September,
Oh, great.
my
Great.
birthday.
Okay. All right.
Let's
It'll be
see.
an autumn book or something like that.
Let's see.
And
Maybe it'll be later. Maybe it'll be again 7th February. I don't know.
but considering the fact that you are so religious about writing every day, I'm sure it's going
It
to
should
work
be
out.
done in 26 days, but then it does not happen like that. Then
Exactly.
because we all know as women, certain priorities change. Now, if when my daughter comes, there'll be different work. These things change. We cannot
Yes.
be very strict to what we
Yeah,
want.
that is one thing. As I was talking to you about that workshop, so they were saying that it has to be an everyday habit and all. But sometimes, yes, it is a very good thing that it is, and if you can, inculcate that everyday thing. Sometimes there are gaps, so then you'll have to fulfill it by probably sitting on another day for a longer period of time or something. But definitely, if we can make it every day, it's good.
Yeah, but then by a longer time, that's all right. Like, in fact, I've written this laziness, under laziness, one topic I've written that we can plan things. Whatever we love to do, we need to plan to do it. For example, if I have to write, I can write thrice a week, not necessarily every day. If I miss one day, that's all right. That's all right. So 3 times, at least do what you like.
Yes, true.
Plan not only for 24 hours, you can plan for 48 hours and take up different activities every 48 hours. Not necessarily with a cyclosan, we have to be 24 hours only. No, make a plan for a week so that you do everything in a week at least.
Yes,
and then next week comes. So whatever you do, if you don't get much time, you can do like that. But the point is, we should do what we love doing in this life. There's just one life.
Very important, very, very important. And no matter what age you begin, there must be a beginning. I think that
I began so late. I began after 62.
And you're already doing so well. And let me tell you, all you lovely people out there, that ABC of Being Fulfilled is also selling very, very fast. Therefore, before things run out and you're repenting and regretting, please.
No, that won't happen. But then
Go get your copy. You're not going to miss out otherwise. I'm telling you. Yes. So this, once again, this is what the book looks like. And it's beautiful. And I think the cover is so apt for the name itself. So hopefully there'll be many more to come and I'll get many more opportunities to talk to you. So wishing you all the very best. Looking forward to your next book. And I hope it's not only a next book, it's next books. So we thank you so much, Kulwant, for taking this time out. And God bless you. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. God bless you, Nandita.